Alright, Code Red time once more. And we're gonna go around. These things are just coming up like crazy. I mean, there's lightning strikes and dinosaurs just like beating their heads against the cages. And that's animal abuse right there. I mean, you know, putting them in a cage and then having them just like beat the crap out of themselves. Like, you gotta do something to stop that, John Hammond. You can't, you know, have dino wranglers running around and being responsible. You need to let those dinos go. Let them go. Let them go. So, in the meantime, we leveled up to level 14, and now we are just trying to research a new DNA strand to get some more dinos in the park. And, you know what I've been looking forward to, probably as many of you have, is a T-Rex. And we have yet to get one. But that's probably why. They probably put it at the end. So you have to play it. And you have to play the whole dang thing just to get to the T-Rex. So we got Spinosaurus. That's the dude who battled the Rex in the third film. So yeah, that's that's basically not a T-Rex is basically what I'm trying to say. But you know, at least we got another dinosaur that some of us relate to better than others. I wasn't particularly a huge fan of the Spinosaurus as another Code Red arrives. But, you know, I could see the appeal. I could see the appeal as far as, like, you know, technically, the Spinosaurus was more well-versed in the art of killing. I mean, like, he had longer jaws, did he have longer arms? I think so. He had a longer tail for attacks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Spinosaurus, it's like fin that sticks up the back. I think that was for shade, wasn't it? Wasn't it just like I think that's what scientists say, is that the Spinosaurus actually bent over, like sort of, and like he was able to shade like his head and his tail and like parts of his body or something. Maybe that's not true. I think it is, though. Look it up if you're curious and check it out. Anywho, quick plug. Brookfield Zoo here in Chicago has got their dino exhibit back, and as Malcolm tells us about Chaos, and I'm very excited to go check it out. I'm gonna be heading out there relatively soon, probably within the next month. It goes on until I think August or something, but it just opened up the other day, so we're gonna go check that out. And it's like all animatronic dinos, and they actually have a Spinosaurus, is why I bring this up. And they have, you know, other well-known dinos, but they're very well done. They're very well done. We went a few years ago as we leveled up to level 15 to go check it out, and it was something else. And then actually we went back to the same area where they had the dinos, and the dinos weren't really all that well kept up. They all were stationed like outside, and when we went through like this walkway area in the back, there's like this huge track that goes around the section of Brookfield Zoo in Brookfield, Illinois. You walk around it, and there's like a pond, and there's like a geese pond and stuff. And like way back in the very back of the park is where they kept some of these old animatronic dinos, like hidden among the woods and stuff. And so like they weren't advertising that exhibit obviously at this time, and it was like the dead of summer, and you know, there was a lot of foliage and stuff, and you could just see like dino heads sticking out and stuff. And it was quite an interesting experience if you didn't know that they were there or not. And we, of course, didn't, but we knew of the exhibit, so we just figured that that's where they were storing them. But when they say Dinos alive, man, if you don't know the exhibit's going on, it could be a rather scary experience. I'm telling you. Alright. Back to the park. Let's research this. Get her done. What will we discover next? Let's find out. An Allosaurus. Alright. Allosaurus. So he is another carnivore. Right there. And I'm just more fascinated with the T-Rex, to be honest. Like, that's why Allosaurus T-Rex. Allosaurus T-Rex. Oh, man. Yeah, I would much rather have the T-Rex, but I do not have $490. So, nor $240 for the steg. And I really want the steg, too. And the Brontosaurus. I want them all. But we have to wait, as another Code Red comes. Jeez. These things are more frequent than, you know, John Hammond saying, like, only the best money can buy. Or whatever he says. Spare no expense. Yeah, that's right. Oh, John. I mean, I would think that the carnivores wouldn't be the only ones who were, you know, freaked out during a storm, wouldn't you? Like, they're the actual powerhouses of this game. Wouldn't you think that, like, the Brachiosaurus and, you know, especially the Brachiosaurus would be freaked out because, like, lightning is, you know, much closer to his head than anyone else's. I would think that, you know, he'd be a little terrified of being roached, but apparently not. Apparently not. So whatever. We're gonna put down this emergency response headquarters, also known as a fire station, I believe. And we're gonna be leveling up again here quite soon. There's our little duck. He needs to evolve. Alright, so we're evolving our compies, and that should take a while. And it's done. It's done just like that. And there are the eggs, and it'll be done in about 8 hours. So we'll be able to check them out then. Alright, let's go underwater. And got our shrimp boy. We got some of our stuff that completed. A little security tower over there next to the shrimp. Not a lot happening. That is still building up slowly. So just gotta be patient, but soon enough I'm sure it'll be as big as it is up here. And we leveled up to a level 16, and we have a nice new pathway around this forestry over here that we're going to extend the road for. And probably place some of our dinos back over yonder. Especially our carnivores. I think our carnivores need to be as far away from our visitor center as possible. You know, like, no one is going to complain if they have to ride for like 5 hours to go see the carnivores and 5 hours back. Like, that's the way it should be, you know? Not like a 20-minute drive. Alright, so let's move some of these guys back here and just get our house in order. as far as that goes. Eventually I need to place some like flowers and stuff around these guys so they start putting out a little bit more coins than we're getting right now. Like there. And here. And I don't think the visitor center does anything. But these flowers will. Oh, that affected 3 actually at the same time. That's cool. And yeah, so move our pond. I don't really like that pond, to be honest, but we'll leave it there. I mean, I realize that this looks kind of hopeless right now as far as like, you know, orderly, but it'll get there. Trust me, it'll get there. I think eventually I'm going to tear up the roads a little bit and we completed a mission for Malcolm. And that's always a treat. Let's get rid of some of these roads. There we go. And move our little trike over there. And our horrible birds. What the hell am I gonna do with that? Jeez. Alright. So for Kelly, I need to buy 3 new decorations now. Because she's being a punk and telling me that I have to have 3 new decorations. So, whatever. We will get this little T-Rex thing back again. I know I sold the old one. But I do kind of like it. So, I will put it back in the park. And it's a good thing I did sell it because now I just, you know, I was able to buy something that I actually want rather than something that I'm just going to sell again. So, right. So that's Kelly's way of saying that her film's bad, basically. I'm sure that's how she's saying it. Only Kelly could turn a dinosaur film with real dinosaurs and make it bad. I'm sure she really Kelly'd it up, you know? She really Kelly'd it up. Alright, so what my plan is now is I'm just gonna make a little of this a little more organized, clean it up just a hair, restructure some roads myself without having to be told to by the stupid missions, and hopefully when we come back it's a little bit more orderly. Alright, and we're back, and I'm just moving some buildings around, and let me ask you this. Why do we have 3 infirmaries? I mean, if anyone comes to tour Jurassic Park and they say 3 infirmaries lined up in a row, wouldn't they think that there have been problems in the past and be like a little worried? Like, how could this park succeed? I mean, honestly, how could it? And yet, it does. As we see 3 cars driving down the track. 3 tourist cars, I mean. Oh, you know, while I'm thinking about those cars, I was corrected the other day. It was not an Expedition. Those were Ford Explorers. That's what they were. Ford Explorers. Ford Explorers. Sure, you know who's responsible, Malcolm. Alright, so we gotta sell a building and we gotta buy an emergency response headquarters, which we already have. So, right. You know, I don't think that's fair. Like, I bought that out of my own free will, and I should get, like, credit for that, you know, for actually buying it ahead of time, I think. But I don't. So, great. Alright, so Kelly wants me to put down all this grass, and I'm just gonna spell out a big T for terrifying, so when people fly over the park, they realize that this is not the place that you want to be, you know. And I'm sure if it was Kelly that was flying over the park, she wouldn't think T for terrifying, she would think T for terrific, and land and pull a camera out of her, you know, and just start shooting everything. which really, really, really is just totally her.